Welcome back, guys. So we'll be talking more about the case studies. So that's mainly about some of our clients that had some nice ideas of just changing up some of the key points that we talked about previously, and that's mainly about could it be for the from the sales mechanism, from the asset utilization, some of these cases. So what happened, it's mainly because the clients just decided on changing some of the things that we mentioned to them that would help them at the end of the day. So some of these case studies where was a client that just thought about changing up the pricing before even validating an offer. So what happened in that case? The sales would drop. This is usual. We already know about that. We would as well mention and communicate over that. But sometimes, some people would like just to try things out, even if it's spending money without doing any returns. So that case was definitely what happened there is the sales dropped dramatically, and everything from there was just for us to pick up and then fix everything with validated offers, with things that actually work. And this is all by utilizing what we mentioned in the previous videos. One other thing happened is launching a new offer before even validation. So this is different from the changing of the pricing. Pricing changes do affect in the sales, and directly talking with a new offer or launching a new offer, it's definitely not going to help. Even if it may be just a curious idea of testing it out, but it wouldn't like directly translate into fast sales or fast deals closed. So launching a new offer before validation and going all in into that new offer is a very bad tactic. So what we would usually do, if it's a very new offer, we would just utilize a small amount of the budget just for that case and just for that sake of testing out that new offer. So we would never just pour all our efforts, our money, our resources just on validating a new offer and killing out all the other offers that actually are working for a business. This is one of the cases that we saw with one of our clients that was just interested in killing all the campaigns, shutting them down, and uh, basically not giving them the right or enough time uh, for them to generate sales. So this is one of the, I would say, wrong things that would happen. Uh, Changing up the variables that would skew your data and lead to inaccurate decision making. So what happens there is one of our clients just had the idea of changing up the prices, changing up the content itself, which is the content that is used for decision making uh, by the leads, and basically that would ruin your whole data collection, which we usually do at least for the first 15 days. It's all collecting data and making sure that this data can be used. So what happened, definitely some, most of the leads were jumping in uh, weren't that qualified, which skewed with the whole database and with the machine learning that we have in place for the business. Because what we do have in place is the AI system would be understanding who are the leads that are jumping in and would just optimize based on those leads. And once they are um, not moving forward after a specific timeline or a specific pipeline stage, then that would be taken into consideration by the AI to enhance the ads. So this is one of the things that would not just ruin the data that you're collecting from the business side, but as well from the data that you will be collecting in the future. So definitely always take into consideration all of the factors when changing up something, because it doesn't just change what's going on in the near future. So the things that are going to come not just after what you've made, but how it will impact all the upcoming results. So one of the things that happened was the delivery case of overcharging. One of our clients just wanted to change up the pricing of the delivery charges, which is the shipping charges, and that affected as well drastically in the sales, because some people wouldn't like just to uh, be paying for shipping fees, and they would rather just have free delivery uh, mentioned, which is free shipping. Now, in that case, it did affect. One of the other cases is the reply issues with one of our clients. So, what happened there is there were no and like zero amount of effort put in by that client before working with us, because what we do is we do that auditing phase where we would see what's going on in terms of the communication with the leads, and we would ask for a few screenshots here and there, just to understand how were the leads being communicated to. So we saw that there was no effort being done. There is no um, personalized communication. There was a few templates that are just copy pasted, and people wouldn't usually like that. They need just a small personalization at least to be sold. So that for us joining in. One of the other things is the sales assets issue. So for the sales asset issue, that same exact client didn't have enough appealing um, sales assets, which people do take a decision based on. So they would take all of their decisions based on the sales assets that you provide, which are going to be the things that people take into consideration in order to move forward with your service or product. Now, that client didn't have any of these sales assets, which do affect in sales. One of the other things is lead qualification. So for the lead qualification, you need to always take into consideration that there would always be some steps that you can take before people jump into your lead form, just to weed out the people who you wouldn't like to be talking to. How does that work? We already mentioned it in a previous video where I was talking about mainly the things that you can add to pre-qualify people. Something that would be questions from the usual questions that you'd ask on a sales call to see if that person can be someone that would be moving forward with you or not. So the lead qualification, for that, we had a client that did that had a lead qualification problem where they never and asked the right questions. So, for example, uh, when you're in, let's say, let's talk about one of our real estate clients. Um, they are a big real estate firm, and they've been working for quite a while. Uh, the main issue that they had is just to ask the right questions. One of the questions that they had, which is not really relevant, is asking if someone is willing to invest or not, because this is actually one of the basic things to be asked, and it shouldn't be asked as a question, as a pre-qualifying question. Pre-qualifying questions come in as in, are you interested in this area specifically? What is your budget around? And things like, um, are you open for other areas, which would make the person, the agent, for example, that's on a call with them, to understand if they would be open for other options that they would have assets to and send over. So taking all of these into consideration is very important, rather than just having a few things here and there about mainly just things like, are you open for investing, are you open to investing? That's not a question to be asked. Or things like, uh, mainly wouldn't have any relevance with the things that you're talking about. Doesn't make any sense. So these are the things that as you can see here, they are some of the case studies that we've seen from our clients, and they are definitely a lesson to be learned. Mainly just because all of these experiences that we add into our growth partner would be things that you can just uh, avoid doing, so you don't lose money into any investments that you're doing. So things like investing in the right ad spend budget, going into that exact like bracket that you'd have in mind, rather than just spending it without any returns. You would be actually doing more money just by following these exact same steps. So it's definitely not things to directly boost up your sales like that, but it's things to build as a structure, as systems, as processes, to ensure that whatever we're doing as from our side, or could it be someone else, you're as well putting the exact similar type of efforts that would be uh, boosting that business. So it's a hand in hand situation, as I always say. It's not something to directly jump up the business, but just to get them in the right direction and make sure everything is in the right pace.